Welcome to the No Clue Podcast. I am one of your hosts. I'm Tyler.
I'm Mike.
And here we are. The finals are finally here. OKC, Indiana. Two of the most unlikely teams, I guess, when the season started. I think OKC we kind of predicted would be at least close to here. But, when the playoffs started, I don't know if it was a lock that they were making it to the finals.
I don't know anybody that picked Indiana to go to the finals.
Indiana's a complete wild card. I mean, this is the first 1-4 matchup in 20 years. It is, it's pretty cool. What do you think? Or where do you want to start? You want to start with the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have to start with the Knicks overall because they also just fired their coach.
Right.
The Knicks, they lost the depth battle. And we kind of knew they were going to lose the depth battle kind of going into that series. Were the starters going to be able to hang on? That was the question. And the Pacers kind of just at least dominated them in the games that they dominated them. What do you have to say about the Knicks?
I feel like there was an overreaction to game one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like every-sided overreaction where a lot of people thought it doesn't really mean anything. Knicks are fine.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of it looks like the Knicks front office was like, oh, we're nowhere near good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed like, they expected to be closer than I guess they were.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody had to be a fall guy for that.
Yeah. You're talking about as far as Tibbs goes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it also comes from making a lot of weird offseason moves. Overreaction from the last 2 seasons, making weird offseason moves, and then you kind of have to. It puts pressure on your coaching staff to do something with the moves that you made. The Bridges move kind of messed them up future-wise, long-term, because so many picks were involved, and Bridges not being a major factor in these games. I mean, front office probably has to look at the coach there. Even though most people even fans of Bridges would have told you he's not going to be that kind of factor in the games, but that's what the front office was looking for with that move.
I thought the Knicks would have something beyond. I don't know, because I did kind of think Brunson and Cat would decide the series.
Yeah.
But it was just there was no structure around Brunson trying to decide it.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like the Pacers had chemistry the whole time. There was structure to how everyone contributed.
Yeah.
You're not going to I talked about this either before or during the series. The Pacers are always trying to win the war.
Mm-hmm.
And the Knicks, they're too stuck in these battles.
Yeah.
They're not establishing anything. They're not really building game to game. It just kind of speaks to how much better Indiana was.
Do you think them being down 15 plus every game in the playoffs is a Thibodeau problem? I mean, they went down, I think, every Boston game. I want to say 4 out of the 6 Indiana games. I mean, even games that they won, they were down 20.
Honestly, yes.
Yeah.
Because the more I think about it, you have to own that as a coach, and the only immediate thing you could try to fix it is go to your depth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't give you a lot of credit. He started fighting the depth battle in game 4.
Yeah.
It took you 3 games to figure out that we got to establish some extra players here to survive.
And the guys that came in looked good.
I know, immediately.
Yeah.
So you immediately, the adjustment was obvious.
Yeah.
And you just made it so late.
If they had went to Shaman in game 2, it might have been a completely different game. Like, I'm not saying he would have like saved the game for them, but just the rest other guys would have got the 6 fouls he could have used, like all the other dynamics that go along with it that comes with depth. He just, like you said, ignored into the last 2 games
And
when it was
what's
too late.
crazy, his like I can forgive how kind of I guess stubborn he is with minute management with
Yeah,
some of the main guys,
yeah,
but like he tried to give up on Towns multiple times.
yeah,
And it's like a few times he let Brunson sit a little more later in the series, it helped. They played well.
yeah.
But with Cat, it was like one game, if you're not scoring, you're done. The other game, you can't get stops, you're done. Like, dude, there's an obvious ceiling with you playing Mitchell Robinson more.
Yeah.
There's an obvious ceiling with you leaning on DeLon Wright and like Landry Shamet.
And the my issue with that is that when he makes those subs, he doesn't do anything to make them like better on the court. Like the Mitchell Robinson comes in for Cat. They don't run any pick and lobs. They don't get any mismatches from him. He's just out there like just to be a placeholder. Like he uses all his depth guys as just breathers for the starters, and that's not really none of the teams. Neither team in the finals, and really none of the teams left in the playoffs did that. I mean, Timberwolves kind of do that too. That's kind of their problem too. But the successful teams, they don't do that. Cleveland didn't do that all season. The
No.
best regular season team this year, they didn't do that. When the bench came in, they came in with a purpose. They came in with able to execute what they do well, able to attack at their strengths. And the Knicks didn't. They just never did that. Except McBride. I would say McBride came in and just did what he does, which is just fire up shots. So I'm not really sure what his strength is, other than
I
shooting.
just sometimes, like to me, I think in the playoffs, so often it comes down to being a bad matchup. And
Mm-hmm.
with the Pacers, like their depth is just so overwhelming. But you reacted to everything late.
Yeah.
You like Carlisle made you look bad in every way.
Yeah.
Like you look archaic offensively.
Yep.
I mean, it's just like we're just giving it to Brunson. These guys have 10 guys who could check him.
Do you think Brunson can play differently?
Yes.
I'm not so sure.
I don't know if they have the personnel for it,
Okay. Yeah.
but I do think like in Dallas he played without the ball a lot more. He was a lot more efficient getting the spots. Like he wasn't chucking threes all the time. I think he can revert back if you put smart guards with him.
But it seems like when Brunson got his notoriety in those Jazz series was when Luka wasn't there and he was kind of just playing how he does on the Knicks.
I mean, that
That's
was
when people acted like Brunson was like actually really, really good.
yeah, because he's become a better scorer steadily in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So like the extra opportunity he kind of was able to show out.
Yeah.
And I still a lot of people are like, "Oh, Brunson can't really be your like championship best player." I still believe he can. But it can't be like we're about to talk about another like everybody thinks Anthony Edwards is a championship best player.
Yeah.
You can't win just feeding him.
Right.
Like there has to be structure around how you play with your best player.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Anthony Towns saved you, giving you a 20-point quarter,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't build off of that at all.
Right.
Like it's fair to criticize Towns. Like his pick and roll coverage sucks. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
But you just like your solution was play Mitchell Robinson more.
Yeah. Or
Like
play Towns
that's
less.
lazy.
Playing Towns less is lazy and not actually just making an adjustment.
Yeah, man. That was just frustrating to me. It felt like Carlisle was the vet and Thibs is like the newer kind of figuring out his team guy.
It did seem like that. And this was his 4th year in New York, right?
Yeah.
What kind of coach do you think New York needs?
Somebody who could speed them up. Anybody with like an offense who's any of the Cavs assistants,
Yeah.
anybody who's like on the Spurs, anybody on the staffs where they pass a lot, anybody on the Warriors.
Yeah.
I mean, just on any of the teams that pass a lot. I'm trying to think what other teams kind of move the ball well. Uh, Nothing really comes to mind in the moment. Miami, I would say at times, but like I don't really know that who's their assistants.
They haven't had a good track record of taking Miami assistants. But no, I agree. I agree with all that. I do think those kind of coaches would be good. I think Budenholzer would be good if he still wanted to coach. I think
Oh, for
he's
sure. Oh yeah, his big thing is like ball movement.
ball
That's
movement and
literally
balance.
perfect.
And balance. The Knicks just don't have good balance of scoring.
Really bad.
Yeah. And then the two teams in the finals had the best balance in the entire playoffs, and that's why they are where they are.
And again, if you had shown me some signs of trying to figure it out,
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, no, no. Like Indiana outplayed them. You're making a mistake. Like you should let Tibbs run it back.
Mm-hmm.
But Tibbs just looked outmatched.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah. Roster wise, do you think the Knicks should run it back?
Yes.
You don't think they need anybody else?
I mean, like they could look for somebody, but not somebody like insane that
Oh yeah,
costs
no.
a lot.
I mean, like depth wise, they probably need more depth.
If I had to pick a position, trying to think, I would like to see a guard who makes good plays.
Yeah.
Like I can't even really picture somebody. Maybe again, it's just watching the Pacers just like making the right decisions for each other all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks just need like a high IQ guard.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking the same thing. Maybe a like a ball handling wing, like a Denver Bruce Brown type, someone that can like bring the ball up court so Brunson doesn't have it, but also can make a good decision. But you can't leave open. Also,
I would
like
have
a
liked
consistent
to
shooter.
like keep the standards really low. I would have liked to see just DeLon Wright be the first backup guard this series.
Yeah,
Like I don't know
or
what that would have turned out like, but I wanted to see that.
I would have liked for them to just have kept quickly.
That's big facts. That's literally again a guy they lost. As far as forwards go, Obi Topping is exactly who they're missing.
Yeah,
Like
RJ would have been
exactly.
RJ would have been huge.
Yes,
We had
exactly.
RJ and quickly in this series, it would have been a completely different series. But they wouldn't have had OG. So
That's what it's kind of unfair because I feel like Indy's uniquely built to expose all of that.
yeah,
Like the other teams weren't.
yeah, yeah. All right, so Minnesota OKC. I feel like didn't we finish this last time?
Well, it was 3 games in, I believe.
Oh, okay.
They had the one blowout, and it kind of looked
Yeah.
like maybe we're getting a series, and we didn't.
Yeah. OKC closed it out. Minnesota has a lot of soul searching to do in their off season. Thoughts on this series?
I see. I hate that we have to like even mention soul searching.
Yeah.
Like this is where like honestly looking at the Wolves, I get why Tibbs got fired
Hmm.
because like Brunson doesn't have to do soul searching. He just needs to play better.
Yeah.
Like Bridges needs to play better. There's no
Yeah.
soul searching there. It's just they battled. It wasn't enough. Like
Yeah.
with the Wolves, I kind of like I'm taking back some of my Finch criticism
Hmm.
because these guys have gross and maybe you could blame him for this too, but the habits are so gross.
I don't blame him for the habits.
Bro, it's so like Boston coded.
It is. Yeah.
Where it's just like we're just like a perimeter team, even though we're big as shit. We have a matchup advantage everywhere, and we're gonna like attack guys.
Yeah.
It's like you mentioned earlier about the all the elite teams had like really good offensive structure.
Yeah.
I actually don't think that with OKC.
No.
I don't think their shot distribution is that good.
No, I think it is.
And I think they mitigate it by like taking quicker shots, kind of keeping the drive and kick game basic.
Yeah.
But like to me, a lot of times Jalen Williams is like an odd man out.
Mm-hmm.
Chet is either really involved, which I love, then he's invisible.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of like to a lesser extent goes to a lot of their role players.
Yeah.
But with the Wolves, it's like all self-inflicted.
Mm. Yeah. I think OKC like does it quarter to quarter. Like I don't know if
By
it's ever.
choice. It feels by choice.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever like a full game of. I don't think it's ever a full game of like Jalen Williams wasn't involved enough or Chet wasn't involved enough. It may be like one quarter. All right,
Moments.
Jalen, you take a step back. You're taking catch and shoot shots. Next quarter, Jalen is like handling the ball the whole quarter. Sometimes, sometimes they go back and forth with that. And I think it is to give the defense other looks. I think it's sometimes to just give SGA a break from him being aggressive 20 like the whole game. But when it comes to Minnesota, them not being able to manage their aggression like player to player, I just don't understand. Like they'll go a full week of Ant not being aggressive going to the basket. Or they'll go 2 games in a row where Randall only takes jump shots, or still, I mean, they never dump it off to anybody down low, never. Whether it's Rudy or Nas Reed, Ant will
Never.
drive
Like
into 3
never,
people.
ever, ever.
Ant will drive into 3 people before he throws an alley-oop to Gobert, which is like the easiest play on the court. Like he's right there. Like there's one thing that Gobert can do.
Pass fake. Pass fake.
Yeah. It's pass fake, it's Euro. He does all this stuff, and Gobert is standing there by himself. Gobert's man picks him up, and he still tries to drive. And, it's a tough shot. I mean, and Nas Reed, too. He's another one. He'll cut kind of in that short corner area he likes. They never pass it to him there. So, and the only people they pass cutting is they pass to Jaden McDaniels cutting sometimes on the backside. But like it's almost like, hey, I meant to throw it to you out at the 3-point line, but you started coming, so I had to throw it to you. But it's never like they never see the block anywhere. And then they don't have the personnel where like everybody who gets the kick out should be shooting every time. And the few games they do it, sometimes they hit them, but they're not like OKC where there's really no one on OKC who can't hit that kick out.
Yes.
And Minnesota is like maybe 2 guys can really hit that consistently. Like maybe
these last 2 games were like really just soul crushing.
Yeah.
Because to your point, you said it perfectly. No post, like you can't be this big with no post game.
None.
Bro, every guy on this team that gets buckets, it's either jumpers or it's attacking off of like faking jumpers.
Yeah.
Bro, Anthony Edwards, every rim shot he gets, he had to drive from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Every single, you're not winning in the playoffs doing that.
Yeah, and he never does it on one person.
And he has no desire to move without the basketball. Like, there's no natural feel. Bro, Jaylen Brown does it.
Yeah.
Like, as stagnant, it was as critical as we are of Boston. Jaylen Brown finds time to do this shit all the time for easy baskets.
He's very good without the ball.
And it's easy.
Yeah.
Like, part of it being so easy is they're so concerned with stopping you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he doesn't even read defense. Bro, he's in year 5. Have you seen him read defense?
Never.
Like,
I can just see him cooking the guy guarding him, but I never see him read the team defense. One part is he never gets to any spot. It's just all top of the key. It's not like Kobe would get to that low mid block, mid corner, and he would be able to see the whole floor. LeBron likes kind of the like mid high post area. He gets that. He turns. He can see everything. Carmelo likes that wing spot. He gets it. That's his spot. Where does Anthony Edwards spot?
Bro, he has no spots. It's
half court with the
exactly
ball.
like Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
Like, bro, you can't just act like you can go crazy from everywhere.
right. And he doesn't have the team Tatum has to do that. Tatum
It,
can do that and win or lose the game because he has guys that'll make up for it. The Timberwolves just aren't that kind of team.
and it's bro, it's so embarrassing to me when star players are like bamboozled by double teams.
Yeah.
Like, bro, these last two games, the OKC's game plan was so obvious.
I just can't believe he's played this long basketball and hasn't like encountered double teams. Like if
Bro,
you're the
him and
best
him
player on
and
your
Julius Randle just dribbled into traffic, and it killed me. Like,
the
we
last game,
can't
I think
swing it.
the last two games, their turnover numbers were atrocious.
And just they were so gross. It was just straight Caruso runouts.
Yeah.
Like, dude, Caruso's gonna rip you every time. You're better off running something, hiding from him.
Yeah.
Julius Randle dribbling straight at him, like, oh my god, I'm gonna like it. This is disgusting basketball.
You ever in AAU, like you ever been on a team where you guys have like two players that are really good and they probably could be playing on a better team, but they like chose to play on the team with their friends or whatever. But then you guys go play on a team that's been together for like 8 years that plays like 200 games a year.
Yeah,
That's how OKC looks to Minnesota. Like
exactly.
OKC look like the team that traps all game. Like everyone on the team is going to college 100%. Like yeah, so it's tough, man. It was bad. It was embarrassing.
And you know what killed me too is like they're validating how important like we all think Jaden McDaniels is for them,
Yeah.
but it's in like the dumbest way. Like he's not Marcus Smart. He's not like he's not a feed guy. Like this last game, they're literally like, all right, if Jaden McDaniels doesn't get going, we get blown out.
Yeah.
And he didn't get it going, and you got your ass whooped. Like, what are you doing?
He's like Cephalosha for them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
I
he's
feel
supposed
so
to be.
bad. I feel so bad for him, bro. Imagine him on Cleveland. Like DeAndre Hunter went from an annoying, frustrating player to like a winning player immediately.
Yeah.
Jaden McDaniels is gonna make the exact same adjustment when he gets a real system.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're just like force feeding him corner shots.
Yeah. They're treating him like they're treating him like he's one of the scoops of ice cream, but no, like he's just the whipped cream. Like if he helps, if he's there, it's nice. But if he's not, you still have your main dish.
Exactly, like, bro.
Yeah,
like I wasn't screaming at the Knicks for forcing it to Bridges when he didn't have it going. When he got it going, he got the ball more.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and I've been saying this all year. I might not have been saying this on the pod, but I think a lot of their issues comes down to not having a actual point guard anybody is worried about playing against.
Bro.
No disrespect to Conley. We're Conley lovers here. Conley's had an amazing career. But similar to what I've said about the Cavs and the East in general, when it comes to the small forward position being the position you need to have in that side of the league, in the West, you have to have a good point guard, or else you are not going to have a chance. You are not going to have a chance. You look at the point guards in the West. You have Luka, you have SGA, you have De'Aaron Fox, you have Steph. Like it's just off the top of my head, those are just playoff teams. You have Jamal Murray, you have Ja. Like every team in the West, best player or second best player is a point guard, and Minnesota basically played their fifth best player as the point guard, sixth. No,
I wanted Alexander Walker to start and never come out the game.
Yeah,
and he didn't even play that well.
Conley should have been giving someone else a blow like of time while they're,
bro.
While they're starting.
I'll be more harsh. Like I've been saying it for a while. Conley, like he's been washed. Like what starter is worried about him?
None. No one.
Bro, OKC clamped up. Yeah. And if you think about it, they really didn't check Mike Conley.
They didn't. I remember. I mean, when he started hitting threes and he got all excited about it, it was like
nobody
okay.
was worried, bro.
Yeah, keep going, keep shooting.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
That's why it's like, I don't know how you possibly regressed from deloading. I don't know how you pulled it off.
I didn't even mention like so. I mean, Portland has 2 young point guards that are better than Conley. I didn't even mention Kyrie. I didn't even mention Harden. I mean, Westbrook is on like
This
we're
is,
talking about like Hall of Fame players in the West.
bro, the Wolves, it's inexcusable if they're not active in the offseason and the deadline.
And if they get anything but a point guard, it's a waste of time. Because the rest of the stuff, at least starter wise, their starters are fine.
And they
The
got
problem is
guys
Anthony
like
Edwards has to dribble the ball too
DiVincenzo
much.
can move again.
Say what?
DiVincenzo can move again.
Oh, for sure.
Like
For sure.
he didn't fit that well. It's completely okay to trade him for a solid point guard.
Yeah.
Not that he would be available, but like I would easily trade him for TJ McConnell.
Yeah.
To give an extreme example, I can't.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I just didn't think that was the name I wasn't thinking about. But yeah, nah. You right?
I'd think about trading Naz Reid for or Gobert if like there was something possible.
I feel like Nas and DiVincenzo is a solid package for
But
a decent like
I just
Kobe White. Would you take Nas Reid and DiVincenzo for Kobe White? Like I feel like that's decent.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
I wouldn't say yes right away, but I think I would say yes.
Throwing a 2nd round pick.
Yeah. Because again, your guard rotation, like you got cooked by a bunch of guards.
Yeah.
And the fact that you had practically no guards out there, DiVincenzo came out there like a wing.
Yeah.
And Edwards tried to be a guard, and it wasn't a good look.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
And the whole like, let's kind of like mold him into a 1. Again, we're in year 5. There's been no progression.
Yeah.
Bro, Jason Tatum progressed like a little bit.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, they're doing that, but who has progressed? I'm like, who is actually successful at that in the league?
Nobody.
Right now?
Nobody.
Yeah.
It's always a fitting player to take that responsibility away.
Like I'll say like maybe Luka, but Luka kind of was coming in like that, and he started handling the ball a lot, like from day one.
Yeah.
But no one else is really converting that well, especially someone at Ant's size. So, and with Ant's defensive responsibilities, that's a different part of it too.
It's just I'm scared that like Randall is not going to learn the right lesson. Like Randall's the guy to me that could come in next year and demand the fucking ball in the post.
Yeah.
Like
you saying he shouldn't do that?
He should, but I'm scared I won't see that.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
And it's just more like the chucking, the over dribbling. Like, bro, it's so frustrating because in the Warrior series, like he was making plays.
Mm-hmm.
Like really not dribbling to make plays, just making the plays when they were there.
Yeah.
But against OKC, it was like I have to dribble to make plays. Like, why?
Yeah.
And it's like the solution is not to get better at dribbling. Like you're not beating OKC that way.
Mm-hmm.
You got to play more to your size and to be more efficient.
Yeah. Yep. I played around with the trade machine. We talked about it off air, but Conley and Gobert's contracts together get you basically any all-star point guard in the league right now. If they were to do that, the way they use Gobert, they might as well just get a serviceable big. It's not like he's like a big part of their game planning. I mean, he plays good defense, but not that good to be like untouchable. Upgrading your roster.
They won't they mess with his minutes, but not in like a significant way.
Yeah.
I just don't really get it. You know,
Yeah. But the thing is, like, it was no point if he's just a cone on offense. He played 4-on-5.
bro, you're playing 3. Like you with
Yeah,
Conley and Gobert,
yeah,
you're not surviving. Like I don't think you can survive with one weak link in the playoffs,
right. And
especially on offense.
Conley is a weak link because of his age, and Gobert I think is a self-inflicted weak link.
A lack of development.
Yeah, you put Gobert on Atlanta right now. Trade Gobert for Capella. Gobert is instant All-Star. He's
Bro,
averaging 18.
the lob city.
Yeah, like it's just that simple.
We'll be like, oh, his hands are fine. He can catch the ball now.
Yeah, and
Just
people
like
would be like,
Jackson
"Oh,
Hayes.
he had a resurgence," but like, no, they just don't give it to him. Like he's there, they just don't pass it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I do
All right,
think
let's talk about the.
Finch should
Oh,
have been fired more than Tibbs. I'll say that.
yeah, I agree.
But it's like when your star players don't have the right approach,
Oh, yeah.
it's like a collective problem. Firing Finch does absolutely nothing.
But he just got the extension a couple months ago, right?
And like he's shown to me like he's called out Anthony Edwards for needing to be a better leader. Like he's been critical of in the ways I want to hear from him.
Mm-hmm.
It just to me like I want to see them run it back with some like significant depth adjustments.
I would like to. There would be a nice team if they got like a really like a super legacy assistant coach, like
Mm-hmm.
like um like Jeff Van Gundy
Yeah.
assistant. Like all of a sudden he's hired as assistant coach, or Stan Van Gundy. Anyone who's like been a good coach, long time coach in the league, all of a sudden gets hired as an assistant for them would be interesting. Major upgrade, but they have to upgrade the guard spot, and then I don't care what they do as far as the bench goes because like they have to be able to get more than 7 guys out there. Like I get it, keeping some of the guys that have shown some improvement in the league, but like, don't they still have Garza on the
Bro,
bench
he
somewhere?
didn't he get there with Anthony Edwards? Like
He's been there for a while. Garza, like some of those names. Sorry to just throw out Garza. I just can't remember the other names, but some of those guys they just have there like for
they
no
played
reason.
Shannon, right? Was it
He was
Terrence
good.
Shannon? He
He
looked
was
great
good.
for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. But put him in.
But it's like, bro, stop. I hate that they wait till fucking game 4.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, these games are long as shit. You can find minutes for these guys.
Do it in the first game, the game you can afford to lose.
Yes.
Like once you get deep into the series, you don't want to lose those. So then tighten up on the
It's
roster.
like more pressure on the guy.
Right. Yeah. He was good though. Shout out to Terrence Shannon, I think. Shout out to him.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see him more next year.
Okay, so the finals. What's your prediction?
This is tough.
It is.
I've heard a lot of different thoughts on it.
I have to. I'm hearing a lot of OKC in 5. Then I'm like, well, I hear some Indiana in 7. Like I've heard a lot of mixed things.
See, the thing for me is like Indy has the chemistry advantage, but OKC's defense like has a gear that I'm not sure Indiana's ready for.
Yeah.
Where like it's pure ball pressure, like dribbling is just a mistake. But at the same, again, I trust chemistry a little more than I trust, a defensive commitment.
Really? Okay.
I'm gonna go with Indiana in 6.
Indiana in 6. I'm gonna go OKC in 6.
Okay, tell me why.
I think that I don't think they've really played the best they could play yet. I think that some of the mismatches that they'll have against Indiana, I think will just like I don't think anyone on Indiana can check Jalen Williams if he's actually playing well. And I just think there's going to be moments where the better players are going to be on OKC. I think like the depth will go back and forth. The shooting will go back and forth, but I think the two better players would be on OKC in the overall.
I feel like you're discrediting Naismith quite a bit. Talking about nobody can check Jalen Williams.
I don't think you can check
That's
I'm giving Jalen Williams the benefit of the doubt because he's had a pretty terrible playoffs overall. But I think this is a big moment. I think he's going to step up. I think he'll be might sneak the Finals MVP.
I'm more worried about OKC establishing their identity like they've been able to with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, like I'm not even if you play good D, Indiana's like even their bad shots are designed to speed the game up.
Yeah.
So they're running for better or worse.
I think the games Indiana wins will be complete blowouts.
Oh, for sure. And like you talk about nobody who's checking Siakam.
Siakam is the best player in the series to me.
Exactly.
The number one best player. But I think the next two obviously would be Williams and SGA.
But coming off of how Siakam just played,
yeah,
like bro, he is hunting target like weak links.
He's doing that on Chet.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
Chet's getting blocks. Don't get me wrong. Chet's solid. Yeah. I like Chet a lot. This is where OKC showed me a lot. Like Chet showed an ability to guard, to get stops, not be bullied.
Yeah.
But Siakam is not just like a bully.
Yeah.
Siakam is a mismatch.
He is.
Siakam will take you outside as soon as you start to press up. He's blowing by.
He doing that on Dort? Is he too big for Dort?
No, with Dort's locking up whoever, but he's the only one. That's Dort and Caruso can't beat everybody. That's their problem.
I think they'll have more people for Siakam. I do think Siakam, like I said, I think Siakam is the best player in the series overall. I think Siakam is one of the most underrated players in the league. But I do think Jalen Williams, I think he has a good shot at guarding him. I think Chet does. I think Hartenstein probably could in some plays inside the paint, but not.
And I feel like we're kind of winding around the main, like, what's going to decide the series. The point to me is Siakam, I don't know if they have a good answer for, especially individually.
Mm-hmm.
Their roster is built to guard Tyrese Haliburton.
Yeah, it is.
If Haliburton goes off, I mean, this is as good a playoff run as there's been, to be honest. Like,
oh yeah,
with all the shots he's already hit, like if they within the first two games, if they lose a game off of Haliburton heroics,
yeah,
they're done.
You think so? Their heart's gonna be gone.
It's again to me, it's the Indiana's confidence immediately gets to a point where it's over.
Yeah, I got you.
And that to me, like, I think Matherin's going to be a problem. I don't know if you noticed, he kind of started to get going.
He did,
as the series went on. It was kind of underrated.
Yeah.
But, like, sneaking in, Bryant's been hitting shots late in the series. Like, that's probably going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Turner's been a sniper every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
I think Indiana has the role players are going to fucking go back and forth every game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a game. Nebhard will probably get a 20-10.
I think OKC's inside out, like each player being able to be really inside out is going to be tough for Indiana. I do think Indiana really thrives against the players that are kind of one-dimensional. But I think everyone on OKC is pretty much like they can do a little bit of everything. I mean, at least the starting six. After Caruso, like the Isaiah Joe and Wiggins, those guys are pretty much 3 and D. Isaiah Joe might dunk it on you, but the rest of them are pretty much 3 and D. But that starting six with Caruso as the sixth man, those guys are completely inside out players. And the Knicks really weren't that at all. Hart really is an inside out player. They would let them shoot. There's really like no pick your poison against a lot of the OKC guys. I think Indiana will try to do the pick your poison thing, and they'll get beat by that, at least probably the first game.
This is where
Caruso will just knock down 5 threes. Like, he can do that.
One thing, like, to me, OKC not only should be capable of matching the speed, but like this should be the first time for Indiana where the speed could be used against them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is where like OKC deserves a lot of defensive credit for the run they've made so far. Like they really they contain the rim. Like you're not getting to the basket. You're not
Yeah.
getting to dribble a lot without help. Passes
Mm-hmm.
aren't easy. We're all over the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Like their defensive chemistry is as good as Indiana's overall chemistry, I think.
Yeah.
And again, to me, like Haliburton has to play well.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, sometimes he plays random well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm worried for Indiana if like they're gonna lean on that
Yeah.
because like the last game was structured well, was like under control well.
Yeah. He plays well like in his own vacuum sometimes, and they need the team leader well against
Yes,
OKC.
it
The
can't
just
be.
Haliburton good game is not gonna get it.
That's where like you to your point, OKC's shot distribution I think is stagnant,
Yeah.
but again, it's better than random, which is
Right.
kind of where Indiana's at.
Right. It
And with a
is.
good defense, you could focus in on controlling the pace with that.
Who do you think is gonna get into the paint more, OKC or Indiana? I think the first two games, I think the paint touches will whoever wins the paint touch battle will win those games. And I think that's kind of for me, I'm thinking OKC gets into the paint easier on Indiana. And that's kind of why I'm leaning more towards OKC. I think if Haliburton can't get into the paint, like it just changes everything for Indiana on offense. If Haliburton has a hard time in the paint, and if Siakam doesn't get like good um those like cuts when he cuts over like across the middle, like those where he catches those, if he doesn't get a couple of those, they're gonna have a hard time getting open looks unless the guys try to go one on one. I think more guys on OKC can go one on one on the Indiana guys than vice versa.
Um, I think like Shea will set a advantage for paint touches for sure.
Yeah.
He's done it every round.
Do you
Like
think?
to me, he's kind of gotten more aggressive getting to the basket as every series has progressed.
Yeah.
And to me, like similar to like both teams have to guard the other
Who
point guard extremely well to be
who's
successful.
starting on Shea? Who are you putting on Shea if you're coaching?
Naismith.
Who you putting on Jalen Williams? Haliburton? Haliburton picking up 30
I'll put
shots.
Nebhard on him.
Okay. I think I would put Nemhard on Shea and Neesmith on Jalen Williams.
See,
And
I
then
think
let
Nebhard is
Haliburton
too
rest on
small.
Dort.
See, the problem is like Jalen Williams is big too, but I feel like I could mitigate him using his size. Shea is like the Nebhard contest doesn't mean shit to Shea.
I think Nemhard will foul out like early. Like third quarter. He has 5 fouls early. Like
We'll see. We'll see.
I think Nemhard just plays smarter defense. Even though he's smaller, I do think his defense is
Shea's attributes go up when he plays the other Canadian players.
right. I wonder what Nembhard did in this series against Brunson. That was really impressive. Was how far away from the basket he picked up Brunson, and how uncomfortable he made him like at the half court line. Then by the time Brunson got to the 3-point line, Brunson didn't even want the ball anymore a lot of times. I mean, Brunson was still getting buckets. So I'm not saying it stopped him, but I think that will be more effective against SGA than it would against Brunson. And I think Nimhard is better at that than Neesmith. So I would tell Nimhard pick SGA up half court, make him uncomfortable coming up court. So by the time he comes to 3-point line, he's not trying to go all one-on-one, a lot of moves, a lot of fakes, and push-offs and all that stuff. I think I'd rather him get rid of it and then play 4-on-4 from there.
I'll be honest. I think Naismith and Nebhard are going to be hacking a lot.
Yeah.
I think Matherin's going to really have to be an X factor.
Yeah.
Because he's going to have to match up with either one of the best players most likely.
Yeah.
and
or
they're
Caruso.
probably going to need him to like really continue to contribute.
Yeah.
And we'll
I
see.
mean, we talked about it last year. We both said they go as far as he goes. If he can show up in this series, I mean, like if he can average 14 points a game in this series, they win easy.
Yes.
When they win in 6, 100%. Because he's just like the only other mismatch they have. Like truly, he can truly get a bucket on just about anybody.
That's why
But
I'm so like I'm not that confident in picking Indy, but I have some faith.
I got you.
Because like Naismith is, I trust Naismith's getting me a game. Nebhard is giving me a great game. TJ
For
McConnell
sure.
is giving me a great game.
See, I was talking about who was guarding the OKC guys. I don't know who guards Nembhard on
That's what
on
I'm saying.
OKC.
OKC has been able to match up well with everybody. This is the first time.
Yeah.
It's going to take more than matchups and help, I think.
I think Naismith and Haliburton are the easy matchups for them. But I do think Siakam and Nembhard would be the two that I'm like, am I really confident who I'm putting on him? Not really.
It's just it's so much. There's so much pick your poison with Indy.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Like to me, OKC's kind of has to win these first 2 games.
Is Toppin and Mathurin the best bench 1-2 punch of the playoffs? Were they the best bench 1-2 punch of the playoffs to you?
Yeah.
Like as far as, and not that Mathurin was good every game, but like who you're worried about. Toppin was just a beast in these last 2 series. Like,
Bro,
he was just unstoppable.
that's what it's like. That's what I love about Indy so much. It's like you know exactly why their role guys come in the game, and you can't do shit about it.
Carlisle coaches Indy like they're a 2K team. Like,
Bro,
he knows that all their grades.
You feel his composure because
Yeah.
you see like there's so many roster moves he can play with.
Yeah.
There's so many like the quick actions they run through Siakam, through Haliburton. They run pin downs for their shooters. Minnesota, New York, hello, can we do that? Some of that, please, next year.
Right.
You know, it's like it's just easy stuff to keep everybody involved.
Yeah.
That's why OKC has guarded really well so far. I don't know how they're going to do that in this series.
Yep. Okay. And I'm the same as you. I'm not super confident. I'm going with him because I like what I've seen, even though I'm not a fan of either of these teams. I like what I've seen from OKC. But yeah, I'm not super confident. Indy easily could win. I don't think it's going like if it went 7, I would be surprised though. Either way, I think both these teams will close out whoever they have once they get to 3.
I want to see again. To me, it's very big if Indy steals a game.
Yeah,
because they're in the driver's seat.
Yeah,
and they have a little more room for error than OKC does. I still think.
Yeah. Okay. You got anything else?
No.
If you had to bet, like let's say it's somebody you know of, who is going to be the Knicks head coach?
If I had to bet, that's tough. I mean, I'll go safe. Mike Malone.
Yeah. I actually feel like the fact that there's so many head coaches available made them more comfortable doing it.
You might be right.
Like if Malone wasn't available, Budenholzer, Vogel, all those guys weren't available, I think they would have thought twice about it. But they're like, man, why are we even dealing with this when we could just get all these other guys that are available? Malone's from New York too, so yeah, might be a vibe. We will see. I think it's gonna be Malone too, but we'll see.
And Malone has like some Dibs qualities.
Yeah, the good ones, you mean? The good ones?
The intense ones.
Oh, I guess. Yeah.
Could be good, could be bad.
I do think he can work well with the short rotation. Obviously, he's been good at that.
I also think like there's something between Tibbs and Cat that just wasn't it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it was, but the relationship wasn't where it needed to be.
Yeah.
And I think with Malone, it will be much better.
Yeah. Hopefully Malone doesn't have him doing too much. I hope so.
He might.
If it's Malone.
He
Whoever
might.
it is, I hope they don't have Cat doing too much.
I don't mind a little fluke MVP campaign for Cat if that's the way they go for the regular season.
I wouldn't mind that a lot.
I thought you'd say that.
Now, I actually would prefer them play through Cat than Brunson, though. I'm one of those. I am on the.
It's just more. It's more versatility that way. If Cat is like committed to really, again, that's kind of he has to be an MVP caliber player at that point.
I'm just strongly against any player coming down taking every shot in like a full quarter, like Brunson does sometimes. Like no passes, just spread out. I'm just going 1-on-1 every single time. And Brunson doesn't play like good enough defense for me to be okay with that. Like Shai will do that, and he'll get back on D, and he'll get a steal and come back. Some of the guys that do that can get it back, like Kawhi, but Brunson
only one guy is capable of being that kind of system, and it works, and that's Steph.
Yeah,
and it's because he's such an off-ball machine.
Yeah. I'll give Luka that too, because Luka's a good passer too.
Luka could also create such easy shots.
Yeah.
Like in just such a pure mismatch.
Yep. All right. Thank you for listening. As always, we will see you guys after the first two games, as always, as well. See you guys next time.